Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Skies of Arcadia Legends. Alright, so it's been a little while since we last left off, but if we recall, we reached the island of Maramba. Drachma has stranded us here and left us without a ship, but fortunately we met a dancer by the name of Belena, who has agreed to let us use her ship to go to the Temple of Pyrynn. Awesome. So now we are basically done in Maramba for the time being. We're going to be saying goodbye to it for a while. It's been a pretty cool town, but we've got some cooler stuff ahead, so we're definitely ready to go check that out. Alright, so let's head on down to the docks here and see if we can meet her. And yep, looks like that's our ticket out of here. No, not the large ship, the little pink one over here on the side. Well, you know, I guess when you're stranded without one, you take what you can get.
Hey, handsome.
Good morning. I trust you slept well last night. It was the best night's sleep I've had in a long time. So, I guess we should get ready and start exploring the desert. Only those who have walked through the desert can truly know its size, is a saying we have here in Nasser. It's too difficult to cross the desert on foot because of the heat. A mere half-day's walk can be deadly. You need a ship to cross it. A ship, huh? Is this one yours? Ah, yes. It's not much, but it's very reliable. Belena, why are you going out of your way to give us a ride? You don't even know us. You aren't very grateful, are you? If you were dying of thirst and someone offered you water, you'd probably ask where it came from first. What? Alright, if you must know, then I'll tell you. My father was a soldier. He was a poor man, and sometimes a little short-tempered, but he was a good man, and a good father. We struggled to get by, and my father was barely able to support us. We had nothing to rely on but each other, but we were happy. Until that day, 20 years ago. 20 years ago, Valua and Nasser declared war on each other, and my father was killed in battle. When he died, we had nothing. No food, nobody to support us, nobody to raise us. We had to live on the streets. Some say that you can't die from a broken heart, but they're wrong. My mother died shortly after my father. She was so sad. I was alone and scared. I had to fend for myself on the streets, and that's how I ended up living like this. Oh, Belena, we're so sorry. We had no idea. Ever since then, I've hated war. Hundreds of people die. Hundreds more families have to go through what I went through. And that's why I'm letting you. No, I want you to use my ship. Please. We'll do it. Thank you all so much. Belena, I'm sorry for what I said earlier. I shouldn't have spoken to you that way. I lost my parents when I was young, too. I know what you went through. That's quite alright, as long as you understand and don't take my generosity for granted. Alright everyone, get on board. The Temple of Pyrynn lies far to the east in the middle of the desert. Let's go. Alright, so a little bit of backstory behind Belena there. I guess that makes sense why she would be offering to help us, you know, without really seeking anything in return, so... Alright, well, it's good to know a little bit more about her, you know, kind of relate a little more before we set out. And of course, we already know where the Temple of Pyrin is. We have actually discovered it earlier when we were browsing around the desert. And so we just fly right over to it. And yes, of course, we do have random battles on the ship. I was actually waiting for one. It took a little bit longer than it usually seems to. Now, the thing about the battles on this ship is that, as you can see, it's very small, which means everything is like really crowded together. I mean, it looks everything's, you know, so close together. So this can actually be rather useful in cases like Aka's, which, you know, she has Alpha Storm, which is area of effect, so she can usually take out most of the enemies at once here, which is pretty nice. So then we can just mop up whatever's left. And of course that Lupulon there is probably not going to be affected by this. I didn't think so, but it took out everything else, so... Yeah, I don't know if we've actually ever seen this before, but it can use magic, and it'll always miss and never do anything, but it's just kind of interesting. So yeah, we might have a little bit of a tough time hitting this thing. Don't have enough AP or SP or whatever it is in this game. I've already forgot. Spirit points, I think, to really do any moves yet, so maybe Vice will have enough next turn to use Cutlass Fury. Or we can hit it now. But it's not really looking like it's going to happen. Oh well, we tried. Alright, so Cutlass Fury, the thing. Oh, it ran away. Oh, well, that's what happens.
That was fun.
So there we go, cramped battle on the tiny ship. I guess that worked out alright. So now let's continue forth to the Temple of Pyrynn. And yeah, as you probably have guessed, this is sort of an automatic discovery. If you hadn't discovered it yet before you actually flew out there, you would have discovered it at that point, so it's not like you'd miss out on it or anything.
Wow.
This is the Temple of Pyrynn? It's huge! I can't believe it! It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. The people of the old world were able to build this thing in this heat, and it's built on sand, too. It's incredible. Deep within this temple lies the red crystal. Be careful, though. According to Sylvite lore, it's guarded by hordes of creatures. Well then, let's get going. Oh, Belena, what are you going to do? I'll be waiting out here, and besides, I won't be able to help you fight off monsters in this outfit. Well, it might be a little rough in there for a beautiful woman like yourself.
Hey!
Oh, really? What about me and Fina? We're women, too, you know. Just what are you trying to say? Come on, Fina, let's leave Macho Man behind and get the crystal ourselves. That might be kind of fun. We'd probably get it faster without him. Hey, wait a minute. I didn't mean... Watching the three of you really cheers me up. You're all such good friends, and Vice is so funny. Well, I'm sure a beautiful woman like yourself has got herself a much, much, much better guy than Mr. Foot in his mouth. Sorry, there's no one special in my life right now. Well, there's someone that I'm in love with, but he'd never even give me a second look. But I don't want to talk about it right now. You should probably get going. I'll be waiting here. Be careful in there, okay? Don't worry, we'll be back before you even notice that we were gone. A nice little bit of joking around there. I have to disagree, though. I'm pretty sure you would not get it faster without Vice. In fact, you might not even get it at all. But either way, we are now here at the Temple of Pyrin. This is a pretty impressive place, actually. I mean, we can look in first person here and see just how tall that thing is. We've got these... Whoa. Hey there. Got these giant pillars on all sides, so it's pretty cool. We've got this thing in the middle here we can check out, I think. I wonder what this pedestal's for. It's got a strange indentation on the surface. So if I think, yeah, if we want, we can check it out. It looks like a little triangle. It's not that strange, but I do wonder what it's for. Alright, so I guess without any further ado, we can head up the million steps in front of us and make our way into the Temple of Pyrynn. Thankfully, they climb up most of them for you and just kind of stick you at the top here. So that's always good. So let's just go ahead, open the giant double doors in front of us, and take our steps forward. So the Temple of Pyrynn is going to be our first dungeon since we've been on the main quest, and we're hopefully going to get our first moon crystal here, so should be some pretty exciting stuff. I like this dungeon. I think it's pretty well done. The music's good, the atmosphere's good. I like the little torches on all the sides and everything. It's really a good ambient lighting. Now we have these little, I don't know, barrel type things here that we can sort of roll across. Don't have to worry about balancing or anything, just use the control stick to move forward, you know, no big deal. Then of course we want to head back and actually go into the alcove here. Now we can run up the slope and you can see there's a chest waiting for us at the end. Now the thing about chests in this place is when you try to open them, you can see we're going to get into a random battle. It's always going to be guarded by a group of 3 magma tikis, which is what these are called. So, yeah, we can check those out. There they are. Now, this is pretty much why I bought those Crystallites boxes. They generally have about 7 or 8 uses in them, like the description says, so this should be enough to get us through most of the treasures around here, and these things are going to be strong enough to kill them in one hit. Obviously, of course, since they are red, and we're using a purple spell against them, so let's just go ahead and use it on all 3.
Let's try this.
So you can see that does plenty of damage to take them out. Otherwise, they're generally actually kind of strong. They're not too much of a threat in terms of attacking you. Like, you probably won't die to them, but it could just kind of take a while, so this really just makes everything more convenient.
Let's try this.
So then we just use Crystallites on the last one, it goes down, and then we're going to have access to the treasure. So, I mean, it's not like that's really crucial to have those boxes or anything, but it certainly makes life a lot easier. Of course, I guess if you had Crystallites at this point, Like if you'd been leveling up your purple a lot, I guess you could just use that, but either way, we defeat him, get access to the chest there, which had 527 gold in it, which is kind of a strange number, but I guess that works. So now we can head on and go forward. And somehow the barrel managed to make its way all the way to the end. I'm not sure who moved it, but I guess that worked. Alright, so down the hall we go. And yes, we do have random battles in this place, but for some reason it's taking forever for us to actually get to one. And as we go along this walkway, you can see there is a moonfish out in the distance, but for now it's just kind of taunting us. We can't really get to it, so that's something we're going to have to come back to later. And for now, we can just continue our way along this linear path here. So we've got some water down there. That's kind of interesting. Ah, there it is. It's like I knew we had to have one eventually. Alright, so the enemies we've got here, at first glance, these things actually look like giant rocks, but as you can tell by the name Dungfly, this is actually sort of like a type of dung beetle that's rolling a giant ball of dung, I guess. And we also have the Death's Heads, which are basically upgraded versions of the Mine Stealers from the sewers. So, if you remember, those guys were pretty tough for the most part. They got quite a bit of health. So, the same is true with this variety. Alpha Storm should help us out quite a bit here, though, so we'll see how it goes. Now, I probably should have had Fina guard, because these Death Heads actually have some pretty devastating attacks, especially to her. They have a special attack called Stone Breath, which of course can petrify you, and also does quite a bit of damage. It's like 450-something to Fina unguarded right now. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But the regular attacks otherwise aren't really too bad. Got a nice counter there. And that's it. These other two were guarding, of course. So I guess we'll just go forward with the Alpha Storm again. You know, it can't hurt. And maybe we can take out... Oh, cool. We got two of them. Sweet. I didn't know if we'd get that other Death's Head or not. And this will finish that one off. And cool. We are finished.
That was fun.
So again, the battles in this place aren't really too bad. Of course, Lupulons can also appear. I believe Dural Beetles still can make their return here. So most of those are enemies we've fought before, and the new ones aren't really too bad. So you don't have too much to worry about in this place. Just kind of focus on getting through. Alright, so let's make our way into this next little section, and as you can see, whoa, boulders are going to be dropping on us, so we got to make our way through pretty quickly. Thankfully, they give us these little alcoves and plenty of time. I mean, you really shouldn't get hit by that. We had so much time to get in here. Now, this one was actually going to take us to a path that will lead us up and around. Alright, so let's just keep on going. Now, we're going to find ourselves back in that walkway area we were in before. This time, however, we're up on an upper ledge, and... there it is. As you can hear, we're now in range of the moonfish, so let's reach up and grab this thing. There we go. Now, of course, we continue along, and like before, we're going to be led up here to a chest in its own room, and we got to fight the battle. Alright, so we finish those guys off and get an ancient robe here. Now, I think one of my crystal boxes actually broke during that battle, and... oh, we've got two chams. Actually, can we, Ah, there we go. We actually upgraded Cupel there. Went a little bit quick, but we got the Cupicone. So there you go. And yes, you can see we're actually down to 2 Crystallids boxes. 7 or 8 charges. That is completely false advertising. That was the second time I used that thing. Totally not cool. Alright, so we also picked up a piece of equipment here. We're going to be putting on Fina. There's the Ancient Robe. Give her some extra defense and magic defense. It's always good. Okay, so now we're done on this path. Let's make our way all the way back. That's really one of the things about this dungeon that can get a little bit annoying, is that the side paths can lead you quite a bit astray, and it can take a little while to get back, especially if you get unlucky with random battles, which thankfully has been going alright so far, but I know as soon as I say that, something's going to go terribly wrong. Now, I believe the passage on the other side doesn't have anything, so let's just continue on now. Come down here to the south. There's a giant hole here, so if you want, you can just stare in first person at all the boulders rolling down at you. That's kind of fun. And now we're going to make our way into a room here. Now, this is a puzzle room, I believe the first one we've come across. This one's fairly simple. Basically, as you can see, there are 3 holes and 3 barrels. So what we need to do is fill each of these holes. Let's see. We can actually go ahead and do that, because it won't take too long. So, of course, in order to get the far one filled, we're going to have to put these two on the side end first in order to sort of create a bridge for the one at the bottom. And I believe as long as you're in this section, you actually don't have any random battles, so that can definitely be really nice. So now we get those two in the side, and then finally just roll this one across. And it's really nice that they give you this far-up camera angle instead of keeping you with the close-up one that you usually have. It makes solving these puzzles quite a lot easier. So as you can see, that's going to open the door, and now we're back at our traditional camera here. So let's make our way around, and that door will lead us to the next section. However, I think this is probably a good place to stop for now. Next time we're going to continue our way through the Temple of Pyryn and hopefully reach the red moon crystal. So until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you then.